I have with me today the president of the Baltimore Teachers Union, Ms. Diamonte Brown. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm all right. How's the weather over there in San Francisco?
It is absolutely beautiful. I encourage people to imagine being in different places during this time,
You need to
the
be
same way
here.
I'm imagining being in San Francisco instead of in my home office.
So I'm happy to hear you are at home practicing social distancing. All right,
Yes, I am.
that is what we all should be doing right now. Everybody's feeling a lot of anxiety about the coronavirus and the impact it's having on the economy and on the workforce. Is there anything you would say towards teachers who are feeling a lot of anxiety and feeling threatened right now, feeling like their jobs may be at risk?
Yes, I would say redirect the anxious feelings to advocacy and engagement. Right now, there's no reason for educators to worry about their jobs being at risk. Baltimore City public school systems and other district school systems, they don't the payroll is not impacted by revenue like other city services are. So when so in other sectors, when the revenue budget is impacted, it impacts payroll. However, that's not how it happens in our school system. And so, therefore, we don't have to worry about our jobs or pay being negatively impacted because our pay is not driven by revenue.
All right.
However, at the same time, I think the educators should be engaged in politics and watching what's happening at the federal and state levels.
Right.
Because in the future, you know, there's no guarantee that there won't be overall cuts to education. And overall cuts to education can impact us in a lot of different ways. And so, educators need to be vigilant in following federal legislation, following the federal budget and the state budget, making certain that they're advocating for the blueprint legislation, House Bill 1000, Senate Bill 1300 here in
Yeah.
Maryland to make certain that those funds get put in to our schools. So that way we can be proactive about making certain that we get more money into our schools instead of waiting until future cuts may occur and then wondering how do we address them. That's something that, although our jobs aren't being threatened, uh, any future changes in funding to public education can change the way our schools operate in the future, and we should be very, very interested in what that looks like in the future. Right now, it seems like several senators and congressmen and state legislators are all about making certain that we get the money that we deserve. But we all know that there's been an attack on public education, and times like this is a great opportunity for the capitalists to capitalize on deficits in public education and use those deficits as an argument to perpetuate an argument for privatized education. So we should always be on our toes. However, at the same time, we do have jobs. Our jobs are secure, and at any moment, it seems that they aren't. The Baltimore Teachers Union will be front and center, making certain that that does not happen.
You're making me feel good. You're making me feel great. All right. As far as the teachers who are all at home right now and they're quarantined with their kids and their pets and everything, they're just trying to figure out what they can do. You have any advice?
Yes. First of all, I would tell everyone to be okay with not being able to get everything accomplished. It's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're not going to be able to get it all done. You're not going to be able to be the greatest parent, awesomest teacher,
I ain't
best
lose that eight
friend,
pounds I was trying to get off the
greatest
side right here.
spouse,
Yeah.
work out, lose
Right.
20 pounds, eat
Right.
healthy. Like, we do that to ourselves in times like this, and just don't do that to yourself. Like, you are already a superhero. You're already being asked to make a monumentous transition without the boss of providing you the proper devices, training, and support that you need to do it. So do what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And be very proud of what you can do, and don't stress yourself out about being able to do anything more.
Yeah, you're from Baltimore City, all right? Where
I
exactly?
sure am.
Where are you from?
Well, that's subjective. So I was one of those kids where my mother and my father never married, and so my mom and dad had always worked out like one week here and 1 week there, and
You got to be
school
putting all your
days
business out.
here and summer here.
Yeah.
And so my dad lived in so many different areas. I mean, I've lived on Gorsuch Avenue, Brighton Street, Bruce Street. And my mom's lived on McLean Boulevard. My dad has also lived on Averna Avenue. And so,
You're real Baltimore.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
yes, I was a very transient youth, like
Exactly.
many of our kids
Like
are in
many
our
of our
classrooms.
kids, I can't find half of them
And
now because I'm trying to get them
right.
going. They done moved and everybody's everywhere. Yeah, so you're very representative of the children that I teach.
And at the time, I really honestly didn't realize it. My dad, he had to move wherever he could afford rent. And so I didn't even realize how transient we were being, or even knew what that term was at the time.
Right.
But I did recognize that I wasn't one of those people that could say where I'm from. When my friends used to ask me, like, where you from? I always had to share this story.
You remember any teachers from City that stood out to you?
Oh, yeah. It's actually some of those people are still there too, and not just teachers, but related service providers like Miss Givens. She was a counselor there. She's still a counselor now. I remember Miss Harcum, the principal of City. Miss Harcum actually was my 9th grade English teacher. I remember Mr. Armenti, Miss Armenti. Miss Margulies was was one of our guidance counselors, and everybody went to Miss Margulies' office all the time. I mean, the counselors were like the thing at City. Mr. Gibson, he was our college counselor. He only dealt with getting us in college. His whole life was dedicated to getting us into college, and good colleges as well. Right. And money for college, not just getting in. I remember Mr. Teeting. He was my United States government teacher. Well, actually, he was a world history teacher. At that, Mr. Teeting was very animated.
Right.
We played things like diplomacy in his classroom. There was a board game that taught you about World War I. We would go and reenact wars outside on the field. I mean, I love Mr. Teeton. I mean, I just didn't know what to expect when I walked in his classroom. And then I remember Senora Kratz. She's still actually in the school system now, and I forget what school she's in, but she was my Spanish teacher. Dr. Shields, he wasn't my Spanish teacher, but everybody loved Dr. Shields.
Oh, Dr. Shields, Donnell?
He wasn't Dr. Shields then, he was Mr. Shields then, but now he's Dr. Shields.
All right, shout out to Dr. Shields. Yeah, I work with him in Shortcuts, so.
Yeah, City had a tough teaching crew. Like, I mean, it was legit. And Miss Ivy, of course, Jessica Ivy. Hey! Miss Ivy. Miss Ivy, is that art?
It is art. It is beautiful. Look at that. Look.
Look, you need to let the kids express their artwork. That's
Look,
beautiful.
look.
Make sure you put your signature on it so your dad won't steal it.
I don't want that right now. You know, I do want that. Let me have that. See, that's how you got to get rid of them. Just try and pull them in.
That's
Come here,
right.
baby.
That was good. That was a good move.
Come here, give me a. There we go. Let me have it. All right. And,
It's mine.
all right. Go put some real clothes on and before you get on camera.
These are real clothes.
You know, this is a great moment because this is a real moment, and what people need to understand about remote learning and distance learning, you know, and that's what I mean. Like, you know, there are a lot of educators that are trying to prevent moments like that from happening, and that's stressful. Let it happen. You're a parent and an educator. If your kid just happened to walk through, whatever. Hey,
It is what it
look,
is.
I'm doing something.
I'm not even going to edit that out. I'm not even going to edit
No, you shouldn't, because people have to accept it. If you want us to be superheroes, let us show you how a superhero really works.
Right.
You know? And so now, before our commercial break,
I feel bad. Now I want to come back here, Banny. I want to look at your art. No, she's gone. I'm all right.
I wanted to mention one more teacher. That's Miss Jessica Ivy. She was my PE teacher, and she is the one that actually inspired me to be a physical educator. Miss Ivy ended up becoming the head of PE of Baltimore City Public Schools. I don't know what she does now, but I just want to say shout out to Miss Ivy.
Shout out to Miss Ivy. And love to all the teachers who are working right now to stay in contact with their kids and continue to be a positive influence in